Live in 3, 2, 1. I already clicked it. We're live.
Let's go.
Already clicked it.
Wow. Welcome in.
Drake just released a song.
No way.
Really?
That's funny you say that. I have a song actually for this podcast. Happy season 2, everybody.
Season freaking 2. We are back. 2024.
Big stuff ahead of us.
What do we got?
Oh, yeah.
Intentional Johnny's back.
Let's go.
I don't know who's favorite. Not us. Can't begin.
No, tell me when you want me to stop.
Yeah, you can stop it. You can go ahead.
You said now?
I think I get the bill.
Now,
because we're back.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah,
now?
yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Good job. Also, welcome in everybody. Intentional Grounding Season 2. It is Alex and Ricky. We're here. We have a big slate planned for us for the rest of the season. We've decided to be a little more committed as well. We have a YouTube channel, so you can look at us while you listen to us while you're driving. So a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff ahead
Is that
of us.
it? Is that all we have?
No, we have a betting corner now.
Oh, we have a betting corner.
We're gonna do some betting updates.
Yeah.
We're working with MGM Grand on a patent for a new app.
Yeah.
Should be dropping in, what, Pat, you said October?
Possibly.
Yep.
Yeah, halfway through the college football season, which isn't ideal, but
Rome wasn't built in a day.
That's true. Rome fell as well. So if we're looking at today's agenda, we have first up, we got some off-season news we're going to talk about. We're going to go over some happenings around the conference. We got a couple weeks till kickoff on September 1st, or week 0 is the week before that, but we're not really going to talk about that ever. Off-season news we'll cover for a little bit, and then we'll jump into some hardball. Hardball with Harbaugh is a segment we're working on. And then as well as that, we're going to go into some conference spotlights. We have SEC and BIG12 today. So fun stuff there. We're going to talk about championship contenders, people that suck, and then people that we think will make the playoffs. So stay tuned. And you can skip ahead actually now with our new formatting from our producer. So big stuff.
Yeah.
Big stuff today.
So you can check that bio to see the timestamps of when we will have certain segments. And if you don't want to listen to a certain segment, you don't have to.
That's right. We listen to you guys.
Just please listen to my segment.
Yeah.
I'll let you all know what I'm talking. What's the timestamp on it?
It's probably 2 minutes too long.
2:34. Make sure to tune in.
Awesome. Well, okay. So first up, off-season news. Big one. I'll start off. We'll just do a round robin. You here around us. I'll go first. Nick Saban retired. That's my big off-season announcement. I don't know if you guys heard. He's done.
Mm-hmm.
Legendary coach. Will go down in history as one of the best. Some will say.
Probably the best.
Yeah, the best.
Some will say he was the best.
The best.
And yeah, shout out to Nick. You did it.
Congrats, man.
Congrats.
Enjoy the golf.
Enjoy the golf and commentate.
I'm glad you're out of my life, personally. It was 17 years of hell having to play you every year. Yeah, Nick, if you're listening, just want to thank you for everything you did for the SEC. But I will not forgive you for the damage you did to my mental health every third Saturday in October for the last 17 years. Minus the 2022 year when we won. So
That's a big year for you.
It was a big year.
Yeah.
It's a big game.
So shout out Nick. As far as other things we had, Grayson McCall goes to NC State. That's what everybody's talking about as well in this area. Some say he's really good at football. Some say he's not. So we'll see what happens when they kick off against. Is their first game against Tennessee or who they play?
It's week 2.
Okay. They play Western Carolina first game. So we'll see what he can put up against the Catamounts. But shout out to Coastal Carolina. They are missing a quarterback. So we'll see what Grayson can do for the Wolfpack after losing what some would say is a good quarterback.
I'd say it's good. Also, a couple new changes to how playoffs work. We now have a 12-team playoff.
That's right.
So how that's going to work is the top 4 teams, and I guess conference champions.
Yeah, it's
Conference champions get the 1 through 4 spots based on, I guess, record.
Yeah.
That's going to be an interesting way on how they decide who gets 1, who gets 4.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
If you missed it, it's basically the big news for the group of 5 teams. It's cool because the 12th seed is a guaranteed spot for like the at-large. Is it at-large like group 5? Is that how they're phrasing it, or just like?
Yeah, I guess so. I would say it's
I get confused every time I read more about it, but
I don't know how they're going to select that either.
Yeah, it's just going to be like Boise State
or Liberty.
Yeah, or Liberty. Liberty.
Liberty.
Another dub for Liberty.
Also, NCAA 25 college football, the video game, has come out.
Yes.
There's lots and lots of hype.
Yeah.
Surrounding the college football season upcoming.
Yep.
Because of this game.
Yeah.
Like this came out a couple weeks ago. Big news for the college football scene. We have been playing a lot, and we will be playing a lot through the season. One of our new segments will rely solely on simming games.
Yeah.
More to come on that.
Yeah. My team has won. I picked app and I did Dynasty, and I've won. I'm going to I actually beat Tennessee last night. That's pretty big, being up 50.
That's
But
not very realistic.
that's pretty good. Well, I have a really good draft class. I'd be a really good coach. Finding out.
Were you master motivator, tactician?
Yeah,
Are you playing on rookie?
No, I play the easier games on All American, and I play the rest of the season, so I can build
That's
up.
pathetic.
Yeah. So, I actually went to overtime in the freshman battle the other night, which is kind of crazy. But we won. We won it. But we're going on 2 back-to-back champions. App State Mountaineers, pretty crazy. Going for 3rd tonight. This might be my last season, but we'll see.
You gonna hang up the cleats?
Yeah, I might just either retire or see what's out there.
You deserve that, man.
Thanks. Yeah. I'm pretty excited.
That's crazy. All right. Thank you. What else we got going on?
We're still getting some WD-40 on the squeaky old podcast wheels here. Can't tell.
We
Oh,
had to
yeah, I
take it
forgot
out of
we're
the
being
attic and dust
recorded.
it off.
Yeah, we're gonna. I think we talked high level on some of what we want to get into.
I'm out. Did you just say high level?
Mm-hmm.
I hate that term.
What?
Because it makes people in the business world feel lowly.
Really?
Do you feel lowly when I use that word?
I just really don't like the word high level.
Okay.
I hear it at work too much.
Well, Alex and I will workshop another word.
Yeah. Do
at a glance.
1,000 feet view.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the 2,000, 3,000 foot view.
Mile in the sky.
Mile high view.
We have a segment here called Same Faces, New Places. We're gonna dive into just in spirit of off-season talking season, some would call it. What's changed and what we're gonna be looking for in this new year of college football with some of the transfers and coaching changes that happened. So if you guys don't mind, I'm just gonna run down a list of some of the most notable transfers and coaching changes.
I don't mind at all, Binky. Let's hear it.
Thanks, man. So, Alex, you already touched on one, stole my thunder. I really appreciate that. Grayson McCall transferred from Coastal Carolina and will be suiting up for the NC State Wolfpack this year.
Whoa!
Shout out Grayson.
He's shooting up for the NC State.
Suiting
up.
up.
Podcast.
At a high level, Pat, what that means is when I say suiting up, that means he'll be dressing in the team's attire.
Yeah.
So I just want to give you that.
But is he playing?
At a high level, yeah. He'll be playing.
Okay.
He's also he's running his mullet back.
How about that? Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel, former quarterback at Oklahoma, University of Oklahoma, took his talents to Eugene, Oregon.
Oh, that's right.
Will Howard, Kansas State quarterback, made a great move transferring to Ohio State.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really good for him. He has all the weapons in the world at Ohio State.
Yep.
Not all the responsibility is going to be on him this year. So
yep.
Keep an eye out for the Buckeyes. KJ Jefferson, the SEC's bowling ball of a quarterback.
Where was he?
At Arkansas. Is now going to be playing for the University of Central Florida Golden Knights.
Weird move. A strange move.
It's UCF is an SEC rehabilitation school.
Yeah, that's true.
Max Johnson, quarterback at Texas A&M, will be playing in Chapel Hill, North Carolina at UNC this year.
Oh, that's right. App beat him.
And our favorite, Riley Leonard.
Yes.
Quarterback at Duke.
My sweet Riley.
Has gone to Notre Dame. For the third year in a row, Notre Dame has snuck in and stole a quarterback from the state of North Carolina. So kudos to them. Don't know how they do it. And then we've mentioned a lot of quarterbacks already. I'm going to go off the rails here and talk about a little running back in Quinshawn Judkins. Expected to be the best running back in the league behind Ollie Gordon at Oklahoma State this year. Transferred from Ole Miss to Ohio State. Also his spin move in College Football 25. It's
really
the most
good.
ridiculous.
They patched it.
They fixed it.
Still pretty good.
Good.
It's not as fast.
Yeah. Also, is Ollie Gordon? Is he allowed to play this season?
Yes.
Okay. They got that cleared up.
Yeah.
There's no punishment except that he'll be running the ball 50 times.
Good.
Wow.
That's American.
Remember Mike Gundy
That's
just
Mike
admitted
Gundy
to
for
being
you.
a drunk driver?
Yeah, that's
That was crazy.
not even news.
Not funny. Shouldn't have said
That
that.
is not.
Don't do this, kids.
For all the kids listening,
Don't. I mean, so
don't drink, kids, as well. I'll go that far.
you good over there?
Yeah,
buddy?
you're like, let it go.
Well, yeah.
Just stop touching it.
Just where do you get off? Coaches, a lot of coaching changes. Mr. Gillen mentioned earlier that the GOAT, Nick Saban, retired from coaching college football. He was at Alabama, as most of you know, caused a ripple effect across the country in terms of the coaching carousel. Who replaced him? Who was that replacement going to be? So Kalen DeBoer, the head coach at Washington, who had their team in the national championship last year against Michigan, took the job and is over in Tuscaloosa now.
Let's go.
Jed Fish, the former head coach at Arizona, took Kalen DeBoer's position at Washington.
That's right.
Sorry, Dylan.
How about Dylan?
Our other guy, Mike Elko, shout out Duke Blue Devils, is now the head coach at Texas A&M after A&M ponying up and paid out that $2 trillion buyout for Jimbo Fisher. The writing was on the wall there. And a couple other just interesting ones here. Kurt Signetti of the JMU Dukes is now the head coach at Indiana.
That was weird.
Manny Diaz, who has been coaching in college football for a while now, been in multiple teams. He was most recently the defensive coordinator at Penn State. Right. He's now coaching our Duke Blue Devils.
Did Manny coach at Miami? Was that on his resume? Okay.
Yes, he did. And then, funny enough, out of all these guys, they've just gone from being a head coach to going to being a head coach somewhere else. Chip Kelly did an unprecedented move. He was the head coach at UCLA and said, I'm done with all this NIL recruiting stuff, and now he's just going to go call plays and be the offensive coordinator at Ohio State. So
cool.
Great move on his end, honestly.
Fun.
It's like having a niece or nephew. It's like all of the pleasure, but none of the responsibility.
Yeah.
You know?
I would agree with that. Yeah. That's a good point, Biggie. How many nieces and nephews do you have?
I don't share personal information on that.
That's also good. That's good. Don't relate to the people.
He's been PR.
So as far as off-season news, question I did want to pose is Harbaugh. What does it mean? What's his sentencing? Because I'm really confused. I just saw that some say he's banned from college football.
Yeah, I just thought it was a ban from college football.
But I saw the actual terms were 4 years.
From college football?
What does that mean? Like he's not allowed to watch college football? The broadcasting networks have a block zone on his TV.
Yeah, I'm confused. I mean, he basically, I don't think he'd go back, right? Like
no,
he wanted his alma mater.
He
can't go and coach anywhere else.
I think he knew what he was doing by leaving after all the controversy. Like he knew what was going to happen.
He pulled a Pete Carroll.
Yeah,
USC. Cheated his ass off.
Yeah.
And left the university in shambles. Clean up his
I
mess.
wouldn't necessarily say. I mean,
the recruiting's going to suffer.
Yeah, I guess you're right. At least they won a national championship.
Yeah. No, they listen.
What's it worth?
Everything.
People are asking. Sharon Moore is the new head coach at Michigan. Took Harbaugh's spot. He was the offensive coordinator, I believe, at Michigan, and now is going to have to clean up.
Yeah.
Harbaugh's a mess. They expected more of us on the Wreckage, bro.
Yeah. That's a really good name. That was really good. Yeah, well, I was just confused. Every time I see, what's his face? Who's the bald guy that calls for ESPN? The glasses, loves the SEC network.
SVP? Oh, Paul Feinbaum?
Paul Feinbaum, yeah. He just hates Harbaugh for some reason. And he's always going on ESPN every morning and wake up and just like lamenting about him. And I don't even know what he did. So going into that, any other off-season news that either of you wanted to share with the listeners, the people at home?
I feel like we covered the majority of the big stuff.
Yeah.
And then in another segment that we're going to do, we'll cover some smaller things that happened.
Yeah.
From conference to conference, which I guess is a good segue into our next segment, which we are going to be covering the Big 12 and the SEC today.
Yep.
There's some things that have happened. I'm going to cover the Big 12.
Yeah.
Alex Binky is going to cover the SEC today.
Yeah.
And our next episode, we will cover ACC, Big 10, and possibly Group of 5.
Potentially. But a lot more to talk about there.
Yeah, we'll have to get with our producer and
there's so many
break down the numbers.
True. Yeah, but that's a good point, Pat. So for today, for Conference Spotlight, we wanted to do kind of a tiering system for you guys. So we'll start off there, breaking down. I'm going to spell it.
Oh, sorry.
That's a great question. So as far as the tiering system, what we want to do is we want to have 3 different tiers. Tier 1 is championship contenders, so teams in these 2 conferences that we think could actually win a championship. Tier 2, we wanted to go into teams that we think can make that 12 12-team playoff, but really don't have any more firepower to actually win a championship. And then tier 3 are ones that we don't think really have a shot, but maybe their ceiling is like 7 or 8 wins, so they'll make like a bowl game. Still kind of relevant. So, Pat, if you want to start off, we'll go in a little round robin for this. We'll snake me around,
Yeah.
and then give us your tier 1.
Tier 1 right now for the Big 12. I have a healthy Utah and Oklahoma State.
To win a championship?
I mean, yes.
Out of Big 12, I mean, he's got to pick.
I've got to pick
a
someone.
tier 1 team out of the Big 12.
I know you don't have to. You don't have
Well,
to. You
you're
can
right.
say
I
there's
don't
none.
have to, but if I'm thinking
that
about,
would suck if you just sat here and was like nobody from the Big 12.
That's true. I guess you can pick your own team. That's very.
I thought this was choose your own adventure.
Yeah, no, that's.
if we're talking top tier of the Big 12, I
Yeah.
believe it's Utah and Oklahoma State,
Okay.
and I think Utah.
What about Texas and Oklahoma?
I got news for you. They're coming to SEC.
Oh my
Mm.
gosh.
Oh my God.
I'm
That's
very
crazy.
happy about that.
UT. Coming to,
No, we've already been there. That's weird.
that's crazy.
What?
But yes,
crazy.
I mean, speaking of the Big 12, I'll go ahead and give you my tier 2.
Yeah.
Kansas State, Arizona, and I think a sleeper Kansas team could possibly sneak into the playoffs.
Oh, the Jayhawks.
I think it depends on how well Jalen Daniels plays this season.
Or
Yeah.
if he's able to stay healthy.
If he's
That's
able to
the
stay
main
healthy,
thing.
and that's
Yeah.
the same. I mean, it's also the same thing with Utah. That's why I said a healthy
Cam
Utah
Rising,
with
yeah.
Cam Rising. This is the first time we'll see Cam Rising on the field.
How
since
old is
2019.
Cam Rising? I swear he's 34. He's got to be in his 30s.
Uh,
I feel like he's been in the
I don't know.
league since.
Yeah.
I think he was in the same recruiting class as Peyton Manning. Honestly.
Yeah, it's pretty old. He's good up there.
And then my tier 3, I have Iowa State.
Okay.
I think they'll be a bowl game team. They can win maybe 7, maybe 8 games potentially. I would say lean more towards 7.
Yeah.
And then honestly, I think UCF has a chance to kind of shoot out.
Yeah.
They maybe aren't the best looking team, but with KJ Jefferson,
Like physical attributes of the athletes, or like their. What do you mean?
You're talking physical like attractiveness.
Yeah, like what do you mean? You don't like how they look?
no, last season they went 1 game under 500. But I think with some of the additions that they've made, we can see a possible 8-game win team.
Yeah.
They've
done it. They've been national champions.
So I mean, based off that, we've got 4 new teams in the Big 12.
Yeah.
Coming from the Pac-12. Arizona Wildcats, Arizona State Sun Devils,
Yeah.
Colorado Buffaloes, which hopefully we'll be talking about a little more this season than we did last season. That'd be crazy if we did.
Yeah.
And then Utah. Some big transfers. We've got Dylan Edwards from Colorado to Kansas State. So it's kind of funny that now Colorado is in the Big 12 because it doesn't necessarily seem like that big. But for K-State, a team that could be a fringe contender.
Yeah.
Dylan Edwards is a huge spot for the run game.
Yeah.
KJ Jefferson from Arkansas to UCF.
Yeah.
Been drawing lots of comparisons to Cam Newton.
Yeah.
With his size.
Yeah.
And then Josh Kelly from Wazoo to Texas Tech gives Texas Tech that much needed threat.
Yeah.
That they struggle with so badly. A couple bets for the season, since we're going to do some betting corner kind of things. I'd say Arizona over 7.5 wins. It's at -122 right now.
Yeah.
On FanDuel. Cincinnati under 5.5 wins.
Okay.
For a 3-win team last year and arguably a stronger Big 12 this year than last year, I doubt we would see more than, honestly, 3 wins. And then the craziest one might be Ollie Gordon won Heisman. He is very low on the totem pole compared to last year. He's at plus 7,500. And that is insane. He's like at 20th or something on the list.
Yeah. I agree.
Couple games to watch for the year. Utah at Oklahoma State, September 21st.
Yeah.
That'll, I think, really decide our 1 seed in the Big 12. Hopefully. And then Oklahoma State the following week at Kansas State. So Oklahoma State does have a pretty tough back-to-back right there with the 2 other best teams in the Big 12.
Yeah.
Then we got Arizona, Utah, September 28th as well, and Kansas State, October 26th.
Pretty big games.
Big games.
Great tiers. I'll go next with just tier one for big. Well, I'll do all of them. Big 12 tier one. Really, I think there's just one, maybe two teams that stick out that actually just one that no. There's none that I see that could win a national championship out of there. That's why I was shocked when you picked two. And for tier two, I'm gonna pick people that could actually tier two being they can make the playoff. I'm gonna do Oklahoma State and Colorado, and then for tier three, I'm gonna have to do people that are going to maybe make a bowl game. I would say Arizona, but
That's it.
That's it.
That's all you had to add.
I think the Big 12 is going to eat itself alive, kind of like the Pac-12
Like they always do.
They always do that.
Yeah,
but they still have.
I don't think that's going to be good for a 12 team scope, especially with all these other conferences.
12 team playoff.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you want me to do mine?
Yeah, I didn't realize that we
Yeah, I
were
didn't
going to be doing.
All right.
Yeah, this is what we had talked about in the meeting before. Go ahead.
Alrighty. So Big 12 for me, I agree with Pat. Honestly, I don't know. I think it's just going to be Utah. I think Ollie Gordon's great. I think he's one of the best running backs in college football, if not the best.
Yeah.
I just don't see what else they have around them. Oklahoma State has around them outside of Ollie Gordon. Put drives. Great point, man. Yeah, I'm going to take Utah as my only tier one team in Big 12 this upcoming season, as long as Cam Rising can stay healthy. My tier two teams are Oklahoma State, Kansas State, and honestly UCF. I think UCF, they get a lot of SEC talent in the offseason and the transfer portal. Gus Malzahn, the former head coach at Auburn, has got that train rolling down there. I think that they could be a team that gets into the playoff.
Yeah.
Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not, but I could see it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. And then tier three, I don't want to talk about that because I don't really care about tier three Big 12 teams, to be honest.
Okay.
But I think 4 or 5 of the teams left over in Big 12 will probably 8 or 9 will make a bowl game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And especially they eat each other alive. There are going to be so many teams that are bowl eligible.
Yeah.
That's true.
And you only have to win 6 games.
Yeah.
5, but.
Yeah, honestly. Cool. Ricky, who you got for SEC tiers?
Let's let Binky give some talk about the SEC before we go quick into those tiers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I want to hear what his thoughts are based on being a Tennessee fan and where he thinks things can lie.
I think SEC this year is outside of Georgia. I think it's pretty wide open as to who that second team could be in the SEC championship. I think we could probably all agree that Georgia is not going to be slowing down. Carson Beck returns at quarterback.
Yep.
They've got all offensive firepower in the world. Their offensive line and defensive line are still the best in the country.
Yeah.
So don't want to spend too much time on them because we all know where they're going to be at the end of the season. So with that being said, obviously they are a tier one team for me. I can see them winning the national championship. The only other team that I'm going to include in the tier one for the SEC this year is Alabama. I don't think they're going anywhere.
Really?
I think a lot of people are under the impression that because Nick Saban's gone, the program's going to fall apart. But again, that's just very unrealistic. They still have all the talent in the world. Granted, they don't look like the typical Alabama teams that we've seen in the past, but I still think that Kellen DeBoer is a hell of a coach. All that guy does is win. And Jalen Milroe is probably a top 3 odds favorite for the Heisman this year. So Georgia and Alabama are my tier 1s coming out of the SEC this year. My tier 2s are going to be Ole Miss, Missouri, and Tennessee. Ole Miss being the more likely of the 3 to make the playoff and do something with it. I just don't think Lane Kiffin has it in him to win a national championship. So, granted, they had a hell of a season in the offseason with the transfer portal, got a lot of really good defensive line and offensive line talent, bulked up the trenches. Jackson Dart returns. They got some good defensive backs in the transfer portal as well. So I think they're going to be a really good team this year. Missouri, kind of same thing. Had a hell of a good time in the offseason with the transfer portal. Brady Cook and Luther Burden returned.
Yeah. They have a hell of a coach.
They do have a good coach in Eli Drinkwitz, even though I hate him.
Yeah. Why do you hate him?
Because he's just a dork. and I don't like dorks.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
we hate
fair,
dorks
man.
here.
That's fair.
So yeah, Ole Miss, Missouri, and Tennessee too. I think Tennessee um, returns most of our offensive line and defensive line depth. I think we'll have the best D line in the conference. We have the number 1 overall recruit in the country in Nico Imaliava starting at quarterback this year. Probably the deepest wide receiver room in the conference as well. I think it's just, can we stay healthy and get to that 9-win, 10-win mark, and then just see where the odds lay in terms of getting into that playoff. But that's how I'm going to tier them out. Georgia number 1, Alabama as well in that tier 1, and then tier 2s, Ole Miss, Missouri, and my Tennessee Vols.
Yeah.
Tier 3, this is actually interesting. Vanderbilt, we're not going to talk about them. It's useless, pointless. Mississippi State, same thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, Caleb Barnett. Sorry, Josh. Love you guys. I think Auburn is a team to keep an eye on this year. Hugh Freeze was a really good coach at Ole Miss. He's been in Auburn for 2 years now. They've got some really good offensive talent at the wide receiver position this year. I think that they've kind of been wandering in the wilderness over the last few years.
They had some good games last year. They took Georgia to the wire.
They did that, and that's Auburn's just they're a team that doesn't go away. The last few years, they just haven't been able to seal the deal and win some of those games. But I think with an offensive mind like Hugh Freeze as a head coach, and I think that
He's a stand-up guy too.
That's debatable,
right?
I would say that is certainly debatable.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think Auburn could be a fun team this year to watch. I could see them winning 7-8 games, and then other teams. We got Arkansas; they're going to suck.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt's going to suck. Mississippi State's going to suck. Kentucky's going to suck.
Florida
has the hardest schedule in the history of college football. It is unreal.
Do you think Billy Napier survives this season with a job?
I think he has a below 20% chance to be the head coach at Florida after this upcoming.
Like, he won't make it through.
I think there's a chance he gets fired in the middle of the season. But again, who knows? Florida. Listen, I hate. They are my kryptonite personally. So I could see them. I could see them squeaking out a couple wins to get him some job security, but I just don't know how many he needs to win in order to keep his job.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So we'll see. It's going to be a lot of fun in SEC this year. It's really fun now that Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Missouri have really beefed up their rosters and their talent. So it'll be fun to see. It's not just going to be. Well, probably will still be the Georgia-Bama show, but it's going to be really fun to have best conference in the country. Just got better. Forget on Oklahoma and Texas as well. Oh my God!
Yeah, you did.
I forgot to talk about Oklahoma and Texas.
You didn't mention it. I was like confused why.
Holy cow,
Texas
y'all!
wasn't
Wow.
mentioned at
Not
all.
even in your.
All right, we're gonna scratch this real quick. So I'm just gonna go through real quick. My
It's
tier
like,
ones: Georgia,
Texas was in the
Alabama,
playoff last year.
Georgia, Alabama, Texas. Tier ones.
Okay.
Tier twos: Ole Miss, Missouri, Tennessee, Oklahoma, and then tier three is the same.
Okay. That's fair. That's a good tier. Yeah. I think the only one I would change, I think tier 1 would be, I don't think Alabama, but I think Georgia, Ole Miss, Texas, Mizzou. I think there's going to be 4 in that tier 1.
You think
Wow. Okay.
I
think 4 SEC teams get into, or maybe 5 get in the playoff.
Yes, but do you think 4 of those teams could win a national championship?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think it depends on
Yeah,
matchups and
no,
when we get to the playoffs.
No doubt. Tier 2, I got. It's interesting. I had Florida as well.
In tier 2?
In tier 2, not even in tier 3. I think that they're going to rise to the occasion. I think Billy's a 3-year plan type of coach. I saw what he did with the Raging Cajuns, and he's doing the same thing
Sunbelt
in
Billy.
Florida. Yeah, he built them up, and then so I got for them. I got Tennessee in that tier 2 as well because they are good. And then I got a good feeling about Texas.
Yeah.
Put them in tier 3.
That's fair. I forgot
he's
to
gonna,
mention them. You put them in tier 3?
Yeah, I don't know if they're ready. I mean, be impressive
For sure.
He's a tier
First
2.
year, yeah.
But going at least. I mean, when he came into Duke, he won about 6 games per season. So I think they could win 6 to 7 with all that talent.
People forget that Nick Saban's first year at Alabama, he won 2 games.
That's true. That's true.
People
And
forget.
some people still say he's the greatest coach. But Pat, who do you got for the 3 tiers?
Yeah, my tier 1 for SEC is probably just going to be Georgia, Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think Bama is still
You don't think Ole Miss can win a championship?
I mean, I got to think about the Big Ten. I got to think about the ACC. Like now that we have 12 teams, yeah, it's possible that 5 of these teams can make the playoffs. But some of these teams are going to be the 11, 10 seed. Are they really going to be able to beat a Georgia team?
Just takes one game.
I mean, yes.
Especially you got to factor in home field advantage as well because the first round
is
of
home
playoffs are
field.
going to be home field.
Yeah, which is crazy.
So
But that's circumstantial.
I'll say Georgia, Texas, tier 1. Tier 2, Alabama, Ole Miss, Missouri.
Okay.
I think Ole Miss take a rise this year.
This is their year.
I think it is their year. Like with the playoff now and where they stood last year in the SEC, like they have a chance. They legitimately have a chance. Maybe not for a championship, but I do think that they're fringe.
Yeah.
I would put them. I mean, they're fourth.
Is this Lane Kiffin's last season if they don't make the playoff at Ole Miss?
That's a great question. No one's ever going to know the answer to that because he's the flakiest person on.
That's true.
Okay, what I said Alabama, Ole Miss, Missouri. Tier 3, LSU, Texas A&M, Tennessee, and I'll throw Oklahoma in there.
Okay.
I think they're
You're allowed to.
I mean, you can look at how deep the SEC goes, and yes, we can see 5 teams make the playoffs, but
they're a flagship school.
They could also be they could also tear each other apart now. Like I think we'll see a lot of that with these conferences getting bigger and not necessarily evening out, but they're getting top heavy.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily a good thing for those teams that have
you never want to be top heavy.
Well, no.
In any scenario. That's
no, not at all.
Bottom heavy is not great either.
I think I'd rather be thick down there than up top, but
unless you're going to do like a back flip on a motorcycle, you definitely.
Mid heavy is fine.
Front flip, you want to be top heavy.
That's true, topsy turvy.
Yeah, those are my 3 tiers. I think Georgia and Texas have a legit shot at winning. I mean, I would put them in the top 4 of schools in the country.
Yeah. Yeah, I could say, yeah. I mean, you're entitled to that opinion.
Yeah.
You know those teams. As far as
you know the Bulldogs, man.
You
really know the Bulldogs.
As far as SEC goes versus Big 12, which will be the more fun conference to watch this year on TV?
I mean, it's obviously unbiased, but I think SEC is just talent-wise, speed, like far superior.
Okay.
I think the games are going to be better. I think there's going to be a lot more points scored in the Big 12, like there traditionally is, and that's. I mean, I think Big 12 will be entertaining. I think the SEC, just like every game in the SEC this year, means something.
Yeah.
So I mean, you even look at that week 3 or week 4 matchup between Tennessee and Oklahoma. That's a huge swing game.
Yeah.
Whoever wins that has a great chance of ending up being a 9-10 win team, fringe playoff team. So,
what do you think? What do you think will be the ceiling for losses for an SEC team to get in the playoff? I think there will be a four loss team from the SEC.
I think Florida could get in with 4 losses because of how hard their schedule is.
If those 4 losses are not bad.
Yeah, if they're close. I mean, but that's just a wild. I could not see a.
Yeah, but
I couldn't see
those Florida wins be as important?
It becomes a math equation over and over. That's interesting. You used to just not be able to, if you lost 2 games, you're out. Last year, if you lost 1 game, you could be out. Like Georgia.
True.
Yeah. 1 game. Crazy. Or you could lose no games and still be out. But as far as it goes, SEC versus Big 12, I'm excited to watch SEC. I just think the Big 12 is a more fun conference to watch. I think the teams are cool. I think they're more interesting. I think the SEC sucks. But Pat, what do you think as far as SEC Big 12 was? Higher ratings and more fun.
I think everything that Binky said about the SEC, you could go and say
about maybe conference. I agree.
Well, I mean, not you can. I wouldn't say that about the Big 10,
right? But the ACC and the SEC are essentially past year.
I think the Big 12 and SEC will be the most entertaining conferences this year. I think with Colorado coming to the Big 12, there's gonna be a lot of media attention on every single game they play. It's kind of a snooze fest. They're gonna keep losing and losing.
You don't think they'll be good this year?
No.
Colorado?
No, they're not very good.
Pinky, the stat we looked up the other day, what was it?
They did. I think they brought in 10 offensive linemen in the transfer portal, which is
Shadur's just gonna cook. He's just gonna pass it to Travis Hunter over and
Yeah,
over.
but did you not see the video?
Yeah, wow.
video?
D1 college football teams definitely won't be able to watch film and realize that he's just passing to Travis Hunter and shut that shit down.
Oh, dude, Travis Hunter. Have you seen him play? Oh, good.
Yes, he's good. Yes, we know.
No one, we're not sitting here and saying
So
that
good.
We
Shadur.
said all these things last season.
No, I'm just saying. Until you watch him play,
You know who
it's
else
hard to
was
understand.
really good in college?
Peyton Manning.
Johnny Manziel and Mike Evans.
Yeah, he's
and
great.
what did they do?
Mike Evans is good.
Or yeah, he's
Yeah.
great. He's
good now.
electric.
What did they do when they were at A&M?
Nothing.
Thank you.
But they were a good team.
Just because you have two good players doesn't mean that you're
Oh,
going
you're
to be
saying
a
they
good
can't win.
team.
I would put $500 on this table right now that Colorado will win 9 games this season.
I'll put.
Okay, I'll match. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll match you.
Let's go.
You see it here. 500.
That's right.
Rachel, I'm sorry for what just happened, but you just lost $500.
Chat, can you clip that,
Yeah.
please?
Sound off in the comments.
Dude, 500 is easy money.
No,
I think
they don't mean. I don't.
You need to timestamp that actually too. Timestamp when we made that bet, so
What does it
everybody
say?
can. 39.40 mark.
Okay.
Yeah. $500.
All right.
Easy money.
I don't think they make the playoffs. Sorry. I don't.
No.
Sorry. I apologize.
That's
that
a
was,
hot take.
That was an accident. I didn't mean to say that. I don't think they make a bowl game.
Okay, so you don't think they win 6 games?
No.
I think they make a bowl game.
Yeah.
I don't think they sniff the Big 12 championship. Don't even
No.
sniff it.
We'll see. Deion played in the NFL.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
He's really good.
That's
at it.
crazy.
Okay, so we'll round out this. We have more Colorado predictions to come. We'll talk about them every week. As far as end of the show, anything else y'all wanted to let the viewers know about? Check us out on YouTube.
Yeah, we're gonna be putting more TikTok Reels content out. There will be YouTube content. We're actually going to we're gonna do a little promotion for you guys.
Right.
Kind of forgot
about this. Yeah,
But
we have promotions.
Here, let me take this off the wall behind me.
Yeah, if you're watching
my
live
gosh.
right now,
So if you can see this, if you're
Live.
on YouTube and you can see this, I
I
forgot.
think he thinks every YouTube video is live.
how's it not? I don't get it.
I forgot we said that we might do this on Twitch. I was like, oh, that would be fun. But if you can see these, you can see me talking.
Yeah.
We are going to be selling these posters.
How much are they, Pat?
They vary based on size and material. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to throw one of these, maybe 2 of them. We're going to give them away. If you like, comment, subscribe, please, to our YouTube channel, to our
Smash.
Instagram channel, to our TikTok page.
Yep.
And
our Twitch.
And you comment on this episode on Spotify.
Yep.
You do all 4 of those things.
You can comment on Spotify.
You can,
Mhm.
yeah. If you do all 4 of those things, we will put you in the running for a free poster
Of your
favorite
team.
school.
Your
Customized
there's
by
customized
Patrick
stadium.
They're stadium posters, so whatever stadium you want.
Yep.
Doesn't even have to be necessarily college, honestly. Like
it's
whatever
true.
stadium you want,
But please keep it college.
we'll go ahead and get that done for you. But we
Okay.
got Boone Pickens, and we got a good old Kid Brewer right here
Yep.
in the Pittman garage.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll throw that out there. We'll give y'all a couple days to like, comment, subscribe to each of our pages, and we'll enter everybody in.
It ends this Friday. Is that right?
I would say yeah. I would say actually let's give them a week.
Okay.
Give them until Monday.
Let's give
Till
them a week.
Monday.
We'll announce
Next
the winner.
Monday.
We'll announce the winner on the next episode.
Yep.
So
I like it.
that next
yeah.
that
There we
next
go.
episode
Yeah.
will drop
Yep.
on next Monday.
Yep.
And yeah,
Love it.
winner
Awesome.
gets a free poster.
Cool. Amazing. Well,
Cool.
thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
And
Thanks
as always,
for
stay
listening.
grounded in tension.
Before we go, I just wanted to let y'all know that I've really been struggling with the